Welcome everyone. Today we'll explore essential aspects of breastfeeding, and we're especially excited to bring this workshop in this conversation to the fathers and letting you know your role is vital in supporting breastfeeding, and we want you to feel comfortable and involved throughout this journey. And this is whether you're a new dad or an experienced one, there's valuable information on here for everyone. So let's get started. So some of the topics we will be touching base on is breastfeeding myths, benefits of breastfeeding, what role does dad play in this breastfeeding journey, skin to skin, latching and positioning, the magical hour, feeding frequency, and common challenges and where to get help. So first, let's tackle some common myths about breastfeeding. Many people believe that breastfeeding is easy or that all mothers can do it. And in reality, every journey is unique and it can take time to establish. Another myth is that breastfeeding is solely a woman's responsibility when it's not. The responsibility also lies on dad, which is what we're going to be going over so that we can get a better understanding on what exactly is dad's role here when it comes to breastfeeding. The other myth that we have here is that small breasts make less milk, which is not true. The size of the breast has nothing to do with how much milk is produced. Um, Another myth is that you can't get pregnant while breastfeeding. You can definitely get pregnant while breastfeeding. It's not a form of birth control. Another myth is that breastfeeding will require being home all the time, and that it's, as I mentioned before, is that it's easy and natural for everyone, or that it has no impact on the father-child bond. Um, there's another myth that's not on this slide is that formula is just as good as breast milk. However, breast milk does offer unmatched nutrients and antibodies. So what is breast milk and why is it so great? Breast milk has just the right amount of fat, sugar, water, protein, and minerals needed for a baby's growth and development. There's lots of health advantages for both baby and mom. For mom, there's a lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, and heart disease. And then for baby, it contains the antibodies that protect them from ear infections, diarrheas, respiratory illnesses, and allergies. It's also easier to digest versus infant formula, and most importantly, it's free. You can see on the picture that's on the screen here that human milk contains complex matrix of bioactive and immune properties. So there's extensive evidence that shows that breast milk contains a variety of bioactive agents that help the gastrointestinal tract, the immune system, and the baby's brain development. So breast milk is widely recognized as a biological fluid required for babies' growth. So it's optimal for their growth. So at some point after baby is born, you will hear about colostrum. The colostrum is the first milk produced by the mother after giving birth. It typically lasts for about 2 to 5 days postpartum. And then after this period, the breast milk gradually transitions into mature milk. So this transition usually occurs around the end of the first week to the beginning of the second week after birth. Generally, it takes about 3 to 7 days for colostrum to shift to breast milk. So as you can see in the picture here, on day 3, the milk looks very gold, as it says, it is liquid gold. And it's creamier, it's thicker consistency, and it's not as much. And then on day 5, you can start seeing that and day 6, you can see that the color starts lightening up a little bit. And then on day 25, we have our mature milk. So colostrum is often referred to as liquid gold because of its rich nutritional profile and numerous health benefits for newborns. It contains high levels of antibodies, proteins, vitamins, and minerals that help boost the baby's immune system, and it provides essential nutrients. So the color of the colostrum is often golden or yellowish, which adds to its nickname, liquid gold, and its unique properties makes it incredibly valuable for newborns, setting the foundation for their health and development. So perhaps you've heard of the term baby-friendly hospital. In New York City, all hospitals are designated baby-friendly. We have about 36 in total throughout the state and 20 of them in New York City. Baby-friendly hospital promotes breastfeeding through practices that support mothers and babies, such as immediate skin-to-skin contact, exclusive breastfeeding, and providing education on breastfeeding techniques. And the whole goal of a baby-friendly hospital is to create an environment that encourages successful breastfeeding and optimum infant health. So just to quickly go over what we should be adding to the hospital bag when it comes to mom, when it comes to dad, and when it comes to the baby. Packing in advance can help reduce stress and ensure you have everything you need when the time comes. But also, I want to note that although there is a checklist here that you can use, it's important to note that the hospital will supply the items you need for you and your baby during your admission. This is except a car seat. You do need a car seat in order to take home baby. The essential items on the list are absolutely optional and based on your own personal choice. So you see here that for mom, she can bring her breast pump. This is absolutely optional. Hospital grade pumps are available to use during the stay. You can pack some non-slip socks, postpartum underwear or sanitary pads, nursing pads, nursing bra, and comfortable clothes or loose fitting clothing. For that, that can bring cash for the vending machine. Sometimes the vending machines do not accept cards. Phone charger, change of clothes if you're planning to stay overnight, and snacks. You're definitely going to need the energy because some labors take a little longer than others. So you want to make sure that you're fueling yourself to stay energized, not only for yourself, but also for your partner and for your baby. And then for your newborn, you have to bring your car seat. This is required one before discharge. You don't have to bring it the day mom goes in to deliver the baby. Um, Diapers and wipes, again, this is also provided at the hospital, but if you have a preferred diaper you like to use, preferred wipe brand you want to use, you're more than welcome to bring it. And then the going home outfit for baby. So another common question is, how do I know my baby's hungry? A lot of people are not aware that there are feeding cues when it comes to hunger. And this will help you learn what cues to look out for when it's too late and when you should start getting ready to feed your baby. So one of the biggest things that you want to remember is that if the baby is crying before feeding, cuddling skin to skin is key. We'll be covering skin to skin very soon, but do not attempt to breastfeed a crying baby because they will not latch. And I'll also cover that in a couple. But I just wanted to emphasize on the fact that crying is considered a late cue. One of the early cues that you can look out for that states that the baby is hungry is that the baby will start stirring, mouth opening or turning the head. And then mid cues is when the baby's starting to get a little, a little hungrier, it's getting a little impatient. Baby will start stretching, increasing movement, hand to mouth. And then those late cues that I just mentioned, baby will start crying, there's lots of movement, face will start turning red. So now that we've gone over some of the feeding cues, the next follow-up question would be, well, how often should I be feeding my baby? One of the things we need to emphasize here is that a baby's belly is very small. It's the size of a cherry. So it's very normal for your baby to want to eat every so often. and this could be anywhere between 8 to 12 times a day. At first, babies need to eat about every 2 to 4 hours to help them get enough nutrition and grow. And so this means that if baby is sleeping throughout the day and they're due to be fed, you should be waking your baby up. You can wake your baby up by patting, stroking, undressing the baby, or changing the diaper to help wake them up. This is a video clip on the magical hour, and the magical hour in breastfeeding refers to the first hour after birth, when newborns are alert and primed to nurse. And during this time, babies instinctively seek the breast, making it an optimal moment to start breastfeeding. It helps establish early bonding, supports the production of colostrum, and it encourages skin-to-skin contact. So for mom, it triggers the release of oxytocin, which aids milk production and helps the uterus contract. And this early connection lays a solid foundation for breastfeeding and offers long-term physical and emotional benefits for mom and for baby. Another thing you can do as dad is skin to skin, and skin to skin will help calm the baby, regulates their temperature. It keeps their blood sugar and hormones stable, and it's a very easy task to do. All you have to do is hold your baby to your chest with no clothes or blankets between you so that your skin is touching. And this will also help you as dad decrease your own anxieties and help you feel confident in your role. So skin to skin right after birth, the baby will find their way to the breast within an hour, and you will see that in the magical hour video that I just showed. They develop a surging feeling to be a protector for your child because you're holding them skin to skin. So this allows also time for your partner to complete normal tasks like eating, sleeping, showering. There's a lot of benefits when it comes to skin to skin. So three simple steps to remember when it comes to latching and positioning is that the baby should be held close to mom, face, tummy, knees, and feet, all facing mom's belly. And then also making sure that mom feels comfortable. She's not tense. If you can offer a pillow for her to lay back on, kick her feet up. She can lay on the bed, on the couch. Wherever she feels most comfortable is going to give the most optimal latching and breastfeeding experience. With latching, you want to gently tickle the baby's lips to open their mouth wide. And when they do, you bring them to the breast. You don't bring the breast to the baby. And aiming the nipple to the back of the throat. The baby should take it in, not just the nipple, but also part of the areola. And you can see in picture A that the baby has the areola also in its mouth, and that the nipple is facing the back to the back of the mouth. And mom will feel comfortable. There should not be any pain. Breastfeeding should not hurt. And you should also see more of the areola above the baby's top lip than below. If it feels painful or your baby isn't suckling effectively, you can break the latch using your finger to release and then try again. But the most important thing to remember is that patience and practice is key here. It might not work out the first time you try, but if you're consistent with it, then it'll feel a little bit more comfortable and you will find your niche with your baby. So we've come to the point in our workshop series where we talk about poop and why it's important to look out for it. So a breastfed newborn's poop changes daily, and the variety of colors that you see here can show you whether it's normal once the milk supply is established or not. And you'll see that on the first couple days, day 1 and 2, the first stool is known as meconium, and this is usually passed within 24 to 48 hours. And the color is usually like a dark greenish black. It's sticky and it's tar-like. And then after a few days, you get the transitional stool where the poop will change to a greenish brown color and become looser as the baby starts digesting breast milk. And then typically a breastfed baby will have yellow mustard-like poop that can be seedy in texture and it might have a sweet smell. Versus a formula-fed baby where their poop tends to be tan or yellow and can be firmer than that of a breastfed baby with a more pungent odor. So colors like green or brown can occur, especially if the baby's eating a varied diet or has an upset stomach, but consistent changes should be discussed with your pediatrician. So because we're not able to see how much milk is coming out of the actual breast versus in a bottle, it's also important to know if your baby is getting enough milk. Are they transferring any milk into their body? So if you're noticing that your baby seems content and satisfied after feedings, like they fall asleep, they have the ragdoll arms, alert during wakeful periods, you want to look out for at least 6 to 8 wet diapers and 3 to 4 stools diapers each day. This will indicate that your baby is likely getting enough milk. Um, so a regular pediatric checkup to monitor their weight gain is also important. Most newborns lose a small percentage of their birth weight initially, but they should regain it by around day 10 to 14 and then continue gaining weight afterwards. So the advice here is that if you're worried about your baby not getting enough breast milk or their weight, then you should talk to the pediatrician. Don't hesitate to reach out for support, and you can also reach out to the breastfeeding hotline. So what if we choose to pump and bottle feed? That's absolutely okay. You can pump and bottle feed. That actually will help with dad doing their part in bottle feeding while mom is able to go tend to herself or do other things around the house, get a nap in if they can. Um, Most important thing to remember here is that you use a clean BPA-free bottle or breast milk storage bags. And then if you are using the storage bags or the bottles, is to label the containers with the date and the time. With refrigeration, as you can see here, the CDC guidelines is that freshly expressed milk can be stored in the fridge for up to 4 days. You keep it at the back of the fridge for the coldest temperature. Baby can absolutely drink cold breast milk. You do not have to warm it up. If you freeze it, then you can freeze it for up to 6 months for best quality, but 12 months is okay. And then you leave some space in the container for expansion. And then with thawing and warming the milk, you can just run the bottle or the storage bag under warm water just to kill off some of the cold temperature if you want. Or you can leave it in a bowl with warm water and let it thaw and then go ahead and feed your baby with it. So another question that is raised is if the baby's born premature, is breastfeeding going to be possible? And the answer is yes. So even if your baby is born prematurely, colostrum and milk production will still happen. So this early milk is also rich in nutrients and antibodies that are especially important for a preterm infant. Pumping is also okay if your baby cannot breastfeed directly due to being in the NICU or needing additional support. Um, Mom can always pump breast milk in the NICU and provide it to their baby. And then also many hospitals have lactation consultants who can assist with this. Premature babies often have specific nutritional needs, so in some cases fortified breast milk may be recommended to ensure that they receive adequate calories and nutrients. Um, we do encourage skin-to-skin contact while the baby's in the NICU, and this will be able to help you bond with your baby as dad and then also encourage breastfeeding. So common challenges and where to seek help. So some of the common challenges through breastfeeding is low milk supply, painful latch, engorgement, and then also clogged milk ducts. This is just a few of the challenges that might come with breastfeeding. And in that case, you can always reach out to the New York City Breastfeeding Warm Line where they offer free virtual breastfeeding support via Zoom. Then there's also the Baby Cafe in Jamaica, open every Tuesday from 1 to 3 p.m. No appointments needed. And you can walk in, just say that you're in need for breastfeeding support, or you just want to be in a space where you can connect with other families who are also um, possibly having the same experiences in you, and may be able to also provide some kind of guidance that we might not be able to, um, and also support with pumping and return to work. So the key takeaways here, or the cheat sheet for that, is one, be a supportive partner, prioritize your role as a supportive partner to your spouse, talk to your spouse, and teamwork is key. Engage with your newborn, spend time talking, reading, singing, holding your baby. These interactions help build a strong bond. Share daily care tasks, take an active role in diaper changes, bottle feeding, comforting your baby. The skin to skin contact and playtime are great for bonding. Assist with baby care, help with bathing, dressing, and changing your little one. Your involvement makes a huge difference. Be proactive at night. When your baby needs to be fed at night, offer to bring them to mom. After feeding, take a moment to burp the baby before settling them back to sleep. And then spend quality time together. Engage in soothing activities like changing diapers and washing your baby. And always offer support to your partner, especially during breastfeeding. And remember, your involvement is invaluable for both your partner and your baby. I want to thank you so much for your time. As always, if there is any issue that comes up with breastfeeding, you can go and contact us at the New York City Breastfeeding Warm Line, or you can always visit the Baby Cafe. Thank you.